So, there was a little show on Tuesday night. Bake Off, the great British one, was back. What a life this show has had, and Matt knows from seeing Jay Hunt over at Channel 4's talk at the Edinburgh TV Festival that it was a massive gamble, and that it was her idea to bring Noel Fielding on board. It was quite unfair, really, the vitriol that was thrown at Jay Hunt and Channel 4 for buying it, because, you know, someone was going to buy it, and it wasn't going to be on the BBC, was it? So there you go.
That she didn't want to be seen as poaching from the BBC. Once Love Productions had said, BBC, we're not going to be with you anymore, you're not paying us enough money, blah, 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 it was up for the open market. And I think part of her argument when they first bought it was that Sky was sniffing around, and it could well have been that it went on Sky, and none of us would have been able to see it unless we had a Sky account. The other thing as well is that she said that her sort of impetus for casting Noel Fielding was a letter she received from like a 7-year-old girl who was fascinated by, was it Noel Fielding's luxury comedy on E4?
Yeah.
Her parents let her watch it, but not with the sound on. And that's what Jay Hunt thought, that Noel Fielding had that appeal, not just to sort of an adult demographic, but to kids as well, because of his sort of jerky movements.
To watch the Bake Off with the sound off, is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah. But I felt he was almost quite neutered. You didn't get that sort of luxury comedy vehicle, Noel Fielding.
Normally we'd say, this happened and it's these people, but if you don't know all the ins and outs of Bake Off by now, then where have you been?
I'm sure me and Gary did a whole podcast about it last year.
We did wonder how it was going to be, and I know Gary was quite keen because he did an interview on Talk Radio today.
I haven't heard it yet, Gary.
But one of the things I wanted to pick up on that Gary said, because we watched it as a family, my family and I, he said it took about 15 minutes to get in, and I was actually into it. We were actually into it a lot quicker than that. Was there a reason it took you 15
Yeah, I think, I only got home at 5 minutes to 8 from a day out. And I think, like, I felt like, right, we're into the Bake Off, and it's different. Oh, look, you've not got her, you've not got her, who's he? 12 new people. It's that kind of, like, that first episode of The Apprentice feel, like, okay, you're an idiot, you're an idiot, you're an idiot. Oh, okay, they're all idiots, let's get on with it. You know, it's that kind of nervous 15 minutes first.
You're a keen amateur blacksmith.
Yeah, exactly. Those kind of like moments of like, oh, I'm a 70-year-old granny from somewhere, and I
actually thought, although Noel Fielding was obviously uncomfortable at the TV presenting bits, his voiceovers weren't that noticeable, and any time he had to do any actual description of the task, he seemed a bit nervous. But I was really surprised how comfortable he seemed with the bakers, and that's the key.
He was basically playing Mel, wasn't he? I think Sandy was sort of
to think like that. I didn't miss them. I didn't miss Mary. I didn't miss Mel. And
I missed Mary a little bit. I have to say.
Watching the show, I wasn't going to watch it. I just watched it out of curiosity, and I was surprised how much I did enjoy it.
The task that they set up about making a cake that wasn't a cake almost felt like, let's ask Noel Fielding what we should do. Oh, let's make a cake that's not a cake. Like, I feel like they were almost tailoring that task to his ability to do the strain.
What I would say is I felt that it was sort of too much for week one, all the sort of bells and whistles that we're doing in that final showstopper.
I disagree. I think they needed a big bang.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, Gary. Normally, you wouldn't have this big sort of production in the first week. You'd build up to that.
I agree with Gary. I think you can't build up to it when people are tuning in to see what they think of it. You've got to grab them.
An old audience that you're trying to drag over from BBC One, and we all know how hard that is because no one changes their television channel. And B, you've got potential new viewers, and possibly a younger demographic.
Any new viewers?
Yeah, I reckon there'll be new people. I mean, a lot of people might think, well, Noel Fielding's doing it, I might give it a go. I reckon there'll be new people, yeah.
I do still miss Mary. I haven't warmed to Prue yet. I found her sort of judgments a little bit harsh.
Did you miss the little fluff bits?
Well, Matt and I discussed this. They wouldn't be in at 1 anyway, and the show's an hour and 15 minutes, so they're gonna be back. It's just that in at 1 they have so many.
They will.
Yeah, they've got so many bakers to focus on that they've got to. It's like The Apprentice. They've got so many people at the start, but those will be back.
I can't see Noel Fielding going out to a baker's shop in Germany to learn about German baking.
They'll send Sandy.
Sandy will, and she's basically from Denmark anyway, so that's quite easy for her to do.
What do we think of the ads? Because that was one of the big sort of contention things on Twitter, and they give you a chance to go and make a tea
and get a bit of cake.
Yeah. I liked it because the ads weren't like, it wasn't a big Great British Bake Off symbol at the top. It was just a tiny little thing at the
just a hashtag, and off we go.
Yeah.
One thing I was worried that they would do that they didn't do was like here's what's coming up after the break. Here's what happened before the break. Because they do that on a lot of shows, don't they?
Let's face it, they didn't change the format of the television show. All they've done is inserted adverts.
And I like that it was knowingly new, because obviously they couldn't ignore the fact that it was new, but they didn't keep shoving it down your throats and saying new.
I don't think they'll have the fluff pieces. I think they'll have a little bit of a focus more on Paul and Prue.
It got 6.5 million in the overnight. And Jay Hunt and crew will be chuffed to bits with that, because they needed 3 million to break
it. That's double what they thought. I think
it's curiosity ratings.
Yeah, well, is it? We don't know. That's what we won't know till the following weeks. They certainly whetted my appetite with a fantastic chess piece cake.
Yeah, what was everyone's favourite cake?
Oh, the bread one.
Bacon sandwich.
I was just impressed by the Russian doll. I thought it was quite good to get one.
Yeah, my only thing about the Russian doll is it was a bit clumsy on the outside.
And the noodles as well.
I know they didn't tell us much about Prue, but I quite like that. I like that they didn't put the focus too much on meet the new team, and they just got on and did it.
I mean, I asked my mother, who's a keen baker and
does she know her?
She's more familiar with her than Mary Berry.
Do you know that she's 77, which was a massive shock to me when I looked at her.
But Paul Hollywood is 105, so...
Yeah, so next to each other, they... So the test of the thing is, will you watch it next week? And will you watch it live when you watch it next week? Because of that hour and 15-minute thing, it will mean that mums will have to choose between sticking to this or missing the first 15 minutes of new Dr. Foster this week.
Oh, that's a good point. Oh, I didn't think... Oh, that's it. But you see, the BBC will plug the iPlayer, so everybody will think, oh, I'll just watch Dr. Foster on the iPlayer.
If it's mums who watch with their kids, then they're going to stick with the Bake Off. Yeah. If it's mums who don't have the kids around, then possibly Dr. Foster.
I don't understand how scheduling works. I would love to be a scheduler, and if I was a scheduler at Channel 4, I'd have had this on Thursday nights going into Educating Greater Manchester, because I think that would be a great double bill. But there must be a reason why they've decided to put it on Tuesdays. I don't know what it is. But yeah, so that is the Bake Off. It could have been awful. It wasn't. It could have been a pure imitation.
Yeah, sorry, Luke, I didn't get a chance to answer your question.
Oh yeah, I wasn't that bothered now. I only wanted to know what Gary thought. Go on.
Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know if I will be watching it live. I don't know.
Do you watch anything live? To be fair,
no, not really. That's the thing now. I don't really watch anything.
Pay for the electricity on the TV.
Exactly. Yeah. Because it's an 8 o'clock thing. If it was a 9 o'clock thing, and I like to go to the gym in the evenings.
It's always been an 8 o'clock thing, to be fair.
I know.
Yes, but I agree with what Matt is saying. It's different now. It's on Channel 4.
But last year, Luke, I watched it on previews, so that's how I watched it last year.
So it could have been awful. It wasn't. It could have been a pure imitation of what's come before. It wasn't. It could have been just bland, and I don't think it was. And I'll be sticking with it.
Because you've not been you hadn't been with the Bake Off since the beginning, like I have. So it's sort of
he's like really protective over the Bake Off. It's amazing. I still to this day.
I think he represents a fair slice of, cake joke there for you, the UK view in public, who kind of feel very protective. I mean, there were still people complaining when it moved to BBC One.
I enjoyed it, cake, who doesn't like cake? Yeah, it wasn't too much of a sort of struggle to get to know the new team. But yeah, no, I will be watching, definitely keeping up with it, but maybe not live. Sorry, Jay Hunt.